Good day, Traders Mindset Reset, Wednesday, day 3, parabolic opportunities in the markets today, and it did not disappoint. We saw some great trades in the Europe session, pound Swiss, Swiss yen, other time frame traders driving those moves, blowing off in the direction of the trend, pound Swiss, higher highs on day 2. That's the range expansion, as Paul Tudor Jones says. If a market is going on a range expansion and it's giving you an indication of that, look for that opportunity. So we came into I want to talk about a couple of things today. We came into the US session. Obviously, the go-to instruments are always looking for gold, oil, and the indexes. And oil had major red news at 10:30, crude oil inventories. The indexes were already in reversals from, for example, NASDAQ had an inside day reversal yesterday that did not take out the low of Monday. It made higher highs on the inside and coiled sideways and made higher highs again. It broke out of a rectangle prior to the US session starting. So towards the end of that 7 to 8 a.m. hour, it had already come off the low of the day in a perfectly formed rectangle, a very well engineered chart. So we had markets that were already in breakouts from that geometrical rectangle structure. Level 2, level 1 is the lower level on the reversal on day 1, day 2. But understand a couple of things. So first of all, what I want to talk about is this. So I looked at gold. Gold was an inside day yesterday and it was still on the inside, obviously dumping down, looked like it could coil sideways. I always talk about this timings, 9:30 New York Open. I repeat this over and over again. If you haven't seen this by now, and I've been saying it every single day, 9:30 New York Open, because what that does is it allows the market to set up. And I still get traders messaging me, telling me they get caught in the first hour and to chop and everything else. I want you to think about something. 9:30 is the New York equity market open. That's when the markets come to life. Oil, 9 o'clock. Gold can start trading 8:20 a.m. But think about what's happening when the money comes into the market, the equity markets. That allows potentially for a range expansion opportunity. If no other time frame traders had been triggered on gold, as I mentioned to one trader, it was inside. I did not at that point see a best trade candidate. Now go back and look at the gold chart. It's so simple. It is so simple. You have 3 levels to trade from. It made a higher high before the New York Open without taking out the daily high of day. We're in an inside day, and it's day 3, day 1, day 2, day 3, looking for potentially a parabolic trend trade back to the high of the week. It made a higher high just prior to the New York Open second hour. Think levels. All that is a dump and pump right into closing price. Now I'm going to repeat this. If you're trading and not using those 3 levels and you're just using little bars and everything else, be prepared to constantly struggle to identify opportunities. Everything is levels. We'll talk about the indexes in a second, but I want to clarify one point on this today. And as one trader said, how do you flip through all these charts and everything right, when it's so volatile? And I want you to understand something. I have 1 or 2 charts open at the New York Open. I've already made my decisions. Now, for the most part, the majority of my trades are indexes, gold, or oil. Now, I put the other charts up because they've already moved. And going into the US session, we have 2 types of scenarios: low-hanging fruit or a reversal opportunity, if indeed that presents on a market that's already gone parabolic, for either a session scalp or a continuation move. And so Swiss yen gave a beautiful low-hanging fruit, zero stress, 9:30 New York Open capitulation. I said in the video yesterday, Japanese yen was first red day. It triggered other time frame traders. It pumped up 3 sessions into the New York Open for a 50 pip collapse from top to bottom. Depending on where traders got filled, that was easy, zero stress, free cash. No major red news on the calendar for instruments other than oil. So my point is this: if you have 10 charts opened and you're trying to look for the best trade at 9:30, you're missing the whole concept. I wasn't looking for a trade at 9:30, but I happened to have the Russell up as I was looking at the other indexes, and noticed that it had already broken down prior to 9:30 and pumped back up into the high on the 1-minute chart. It was a perfect dump for a low-hanging fruit vertical move to the low of the day. It was already moving. The 5-minute chart gave an entry prior to the New York Open. So my point is this: when I make a decision that I'm going to trade something if it's at the open, I don't have anything else open. I wasn't going to trade gold. I already decided. I just didn't feel 100% confident with that. But again, remember, I'd already shut it down before New York Open. That was an easy dump and pump template right into closing price. 1, 2, 3 vertical short squeeze setup for traders that shorted that on a smaller time frame, but just a dump and pump continuation on day 3. The Russell was just a vertical low-hanging fruit reversal to the low of the day. Now, understand the charts that I put up on the indexes were out of balance. DJ30, NASDAQ, and S&P were out of balance already. They were in breakouts prior to 9:30. So what does that tell me? What does that tell me? That tells me I'm going to let the market set up. We're out of balance. I'm expecting traders are going to try and short that right at the open, and not even thinking that they might be low-hanging fruit for a vertical continuation. This market is driven by other time frame traders. They haven't gone vertical through the high of the week. They went up to the high of the week. So what do we do? What do we do when that happens? We reestablish the boundaries. The market opens and puts in a high. It goes down and puts in a low. Now we have a high. Now we have a low. It works into the low 2 more times. And that takes us to the end of the hour. 3 pushes into a low. 3rd hour begins, and we have a coil for an explosive parabolic continuation trade driven by other time frame traders. Now that could reverse later. I could care less. It's a measured move range expansion opportunity on day 3 driven by other time frame traders. So I want to encourage traders to quit trying to read 1-minute charts and learn to tell time. Be patient. Let the market set up and pick 1 or 2 instruments. As I said before, shut everything else off. So if you're having a bit of delayed or bogged time down on your computer, it's slowing down, you might have 50 charts open. You got 40 indicators on them, on all of them. And you got your social media and your Google platform and everything else running, and your computer doesn't have any more memory capacity to run at high speed. I don't have anything else running on my computer once that chart's up and I'm going to trade it live. So I go through my charts, filter it down. I go to a default page, shut down the ones that I'm not going to trade. Go back to my other page once that trade's done. Look at the templates again that I had my eyes on to see what's happened. Okay, gold's gone parabolic. I thought it was going to do a continuation range expansion. No major red news. There's no reason for it to. It took out the high of the week. 3rd hour starts and it collapses back 75 pips to closing price level. It was an excellent trade taken by several traders. And as I said to them, you know, my opinion right off the bat was don't counter trend this. It was currently on its way to the first full range expansion. I thought it had the potential to go to 2. But as Peter Brandt always says, strong opinions weakly held. I only have my opinions. That's all I can trade is my opinions. And so I'm always looking for the easiest, best trade candidate, which brings me to my next point. Trader asked, how do you handle the mental stress? How do you deal with that, how do you not get burned out? Now, as I said to this gentleman, number 1, limit your screen time. 1 to 2 hours tops. And as I always say, get off the screen, get on with your day. I'm looking to execute a best trade candidate in that high probability window. I don't want to be sitting around trying to take trades. I know there's traders, they got this trade, they got that trade, they got the other trade, and they're catching this one now. I'm looking for 1 or 2 with size where it goes vertical and get out. I'm not trying to take a lot of trades. Like, that's where you're going to run into trouble. You're going to get caught into something. You're moved, like Niche said, once the train leaves the station, you're running the possibility now of where you're in no man's land. I'm looking for trades that are about to leave the station. So, number 1, limit your screen time. Number 2, focus on best trade candidates where you know you have a 90-10 edge. If you still don't know what that is, you shouldn't be trading live money. You should not be trading live money. I mean, day 1, day 2, day 3, if you're still struggling with that, there's only 2 types of trades on a day 3 if an instrument's set up properly. A parabolic continuation trade, a trend trade, or a reversal trade. If you're just looking at an instrument, you know, people are calling out trades on the platform and everything. I'm looking at these charts going, you know, I have strong opinions weekly held, but I don't even see, just because something's up high or down low does not mean that it's set up for a trade. Understand that. So number one, limit your screen time. Number two, only trade best trade setups, 90-10 setups with edge. Number three, get to the gym, exercise, blow steam off, have a clear mind, be healthy, and do not let yourself get bogged down in sitting at the screen all day. Number three, get plenty of rest, be hydrated, and eat high performance nutrition. Next one, get out, have fun with your family, your friends, have fun in your life. And as Paul Tudor Jones says, make trading a pursuit of happiness. Coming back to the point of 90-10 best trade setups, on that point, make sure you are getting paid. That's the whole point of this. If you're putting in hours and hours of screen time, which I did for 15 years, and didn't pay myself because I thought I'm going to figure this out eventually, I'll get paid, but you need to get paid now. Otherwise, you're putting in all this time, it's costing you time away from other things that you love, that you value. Potentially, you're detracting from other things that are probably more important, and you're not getting paid. So you need to get paid. Even if you're trading a micro lot and you got $2.50, lock it in, get off the screen. Learn to scale that setup in size and grow that. If you can make $2.50, you can make $5. If you can make $5, you can make $1 million. If you rinse and repeat, you have to manage yourself. And that's the last part of that equation, the behavior of the trader. So limit your screen time, best trade setups, get paid. Make sure you get to the gym, walk away when you're done trading, get off the screen, get to the gym, exercise, blow off steam, break the fight, flight, stress physiology in your body, break the adrenaline, go into a relaxed state, a calm state, well hydrated, great nutrition, well rested, fun and enjoyment in your life. Make your hard work into tangible results. Have something that you can enjoy and experience with that, whether it's experiences, whether it's material items, whatever those things are that make you feel or sense that you're working so hard at something that you're actually showing some accomplishment from that. I don't care how small of it is. Treat yourself to dinner. Take your wife or your spouse out for dinner, your children, and enjoy yourself. But shut your charts down. Pick one or two. I don't care if you miss out on the best one. Pick one. Pick one that's ideally set up. Execute that trade as flawlessly as possible. Could you have added into that? Is it about to accelerate and blow off into a move? Can you add into that and still manage your risk? It's important to understand that. Getting a trade right, getting a direction right isn't my goal. My goal is, where's the parabolic opportunity where this is going to explode on a range expansion? How much size should I put on this type of setup? Is it going to come back today? Is this type of setup going to come back, or maybe not? I don't know if the indexes will come back. They might, maybe later on Friday or whatever. I have no idea, but it's a type of range expansion that could hold people up there, maybe reverse or creep back tomorrow or fall back into that level tomorrow. So make sure you lock into profits and get off the screen. So filter your instruments down to one or two, get great clarity, and be willing to sit on your hands. It's not, the trade doesn't have to be at 9:30. So gold was at 9:30, 9:35. Okay. There were scalps and opportunities on the indexes right at 9:30, but for traders who find that it's too volatile, too explosive, have one thesis, step back, pick one instrument, and let it establish its boundaries, and think about the clock. Second hour, this is 9:30 New York Open. Maybe it's going to be third hour. Maybe it's going to be 1 hour from the open, right? 10:30 a.m. Go back and check that. You'll find that a lot of the reversals or continuations are at 10:30 a.m. 1 hour after the open, third hour trade. There's so many little subtleties that once you grasp this, we can take it to another level, but so important to step back, don't have 20 charts. If you're not going to, like, I can look at 5 or 6 currency charts right off the bat, and it's like not even on my radar. Why? No. Maybe in Asia tomorrow. Maybe it's going to move in London tomorrow. I don't care. It already, if it's not set up for a parabolic trade, if you're not sure what that is, go look at the Japanese yen. It was a first red day. traded back to yesterday's breakout level. Okay? Somebody said to me, yeah, but it took out the low of the week. Yeah, and it also took out the high of the year, the high of the month, the high of the week when it collapsed on Tuesday. So understand, is this a range expansion now on the downside? Maybe it's going to reverse tomorrow and Friday and go back up. I have no idea. I'll know that when I go to the US session, though, I'm going to filter through my instruments. I want to know if other time frame traders are yet to be triggered on the day in the market, or maybe we have a failed breakout and we already have a reversal underway. Those types of situations. But you're only looking for one or two great trades. You know, even in a week like today's S&P trade was massive. You know, there's one great trade. There's been trades every day. So be patient and step back. Don't try to see all the markets. Just pick one or two good ones. Shut off the one you're not going to trade. Go with the one and focus on that chart. Just that chart. Shut everything else off. Don't worry about what other people are getting. They got 50 pips on gold and they got, 50 on the NASDAQ. Who cares? Get really good at focusing and executing one great trade. And then come back again tomorrow and do the same thing. Who cares? Somebody telling you to draw lines on a 4-hour chart and mark your daily level, and if the 1 hour and the 4 hour and the daily trend lines up and the first hour high low, all that stuff, stick to what works. Okay, it's day 3. Dump and pump, pump and dump. That's it. It's going to coil for an explosive move, whether that's 30 to 45 minutes into the session. Okay, go and look at New York Open on indexes, 30 to 45 minutes after the open of the session. The low of the day was locked in. 30 to 45 minutes. Okay? Work the low, new hour, coil explosion. Keep it simple. So, hopefully everybody had a good day today. Thank you for a lot of great questions and feedback. Make trading a pursuit of pleasure, as Paul Tudor Jones talks about. Understand the opening range and the initial balance, range expansions. Get off these little 1-minute consolidations and consolidations inside of those ranges and everything else. Other time frame traders are the markets that you will make money on, that they're driving those moves. Understand how powerful that is. Keep it simple. Don't mix a whole bunch of concepts. Focus on parabolic trade opportunities. They will grow your account fast. Have a great day, traders. Get out, get some exercise. Just had a great workout at the gym. Keep it simple, and may the markets go with you.